welcome back. Divorce is never easy, but could ending your marriage give you a brand new start in the new year? Lori Clark Viviano is here with her own tough love advice. And, you know, it's interesting because we all make resolutions in the new year, but you're talking about making one to maybe get a divorce. Wow.
Well, you know what? If you're going to start the new year and you think losing some weight's a New Year's resolution, get rid of 180 pounds.
Wow. I mean, it's interesting because you can think of that as, you know, a callous, you know, tough love approach, but also as maybe a beautiful fresh start, a new beginning.
Well, you know, we were talking about before we started, and what I was saying was, you know, look, either decide before the holidays start and just decide, okay, 2009 is a horrible Christmas, I'm going through a divorce, but 2010 is going to be a great year, or really look at your 2009. We were talking about Thanksgiving, you had a great time, and I said to you, could you do that another 10 years, and what was your answer?
Absolutely.
Okay, but if you're looking across from this, you know, your husband, and you say to yourself, could I do 10 more Hanukkahs, 10 more Christmases, 10 more Easters with this guy, and if your answer is absolutely not, then why are you doing it?
Right. Well, and of course everybody is talking about Tiger Woods, and every day something new is coming out about that. Putting his wife in this position about possibly making that decision. You know, I mean, I think everybody is wondering, is she going to stay or is she going to go?
If she stays, there's going to be 14 more. If she goes, then it will be a business decision. It won't be, you know, am I going to do that? But, you know, I tell everybody this, everybody has to make a decision about what works for them. If she somehow can forgive 14 different indiscretions, then that's what she can do. But, you know, you have to think about, is that how you want to live the rest of your life?
You've had a lot of clients over the years, and you said some of them get to the new year, and then boom, they've been on the fence, and then they make that decision, yes, I'm going to get a divorce. Why then?
Well, look at this. I mean, at some point, I'm sure she didn't mind about the first one, maybe. The second one, okay, I can kind of understand that. But really, how many more are we going to see? And then you start wondering, well, when he said he was out, you know, at the golf course having drinks afterwards, was he really? And, you know, it's just anything else. Once you start opening up that box, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And you asked a really good question. Can people change? I think people can stop drinking. I think people can, you know, go to anger management and get their anger under control. I think people can become neater. But can they change their character? And the answer is absolutely not. I just don't believe it at all. I haven't seen it in 21 years. And, you know, at the end of the day, if it was me and I was thinking, do I want to be married to him, I would really look at the holidays and say, this really is a microcosm of my life. This is when you're supposed to be at the top of your game. And if you're having a miserable time, you know, like you said, I can't wait to do it again next Thanksgiving. You know, you helped these poor people and you did it with your boyfriend and it was wonderful. And look how you're even smiling. I mean, people, you know, they come into my office and they don't realize, they walk in and they tell their story and they look miserable. And I just look at them and go, why do you want to do that another year? How about another 10?
You put it in that perspective, and you know, divorce is painful and it's challenging, and kids' lives are involved. But you're saying that when people have been thinking about it for a long time and they make a decision, sometimes it is the biggest relief.
Not only is it the biggest relief, but I'm looking at you, and when you talk about Thanksgiving, you don't even notice, but you start smiling and your eyes light up. And if someone comes in and they actually can talk about the holidays, I'll say to them, you know what, I think you need to go see a counselor. It's still there. The spark is still there. There's just something there. And you know, you just said about children. Okay, great. So if you're having a miserable holiday, do you think your children are just thinking this is great? Yeah, they may like the presents or the fact that you're staying together, but is this really the example you want for them for the rest of their life? So
maybe top 3 signs, just to kind of go over it, that maybe that New Year's resolution to get a divorce is for you. What are some maybe top 3 things that our viewers can look for?
I think if you have not had a happy moment with your spouse, like if I said to you, Renee, tell me 5 things that are wonderful in the last year that you've had with your boyfriend. Look at, you're even smiling already. But if you say, well, let me think about it. If you have to think for even a second and you can't name 5 in the last year, not good. If you're not being intimate with your spouse, you know, really? Really?
Really?
Unless you're like 80. And then the third thing is, if you can't see some fun future, you know, if you're not saying, gosh, I can't wait until the children are old enough to go diving, or until the children are old enough to go skiing, if you're not having kind of future thoughts about your spouse, then you're just grinding out the days. And this is not a dress rehearsal.
No, it's such a good point. I mean, you know, a lot of people think that things will change or that person will change, but really it seems like you're saying it's about acceptance. If you can accept that that's the way that the life is and that partnership is, that's one thing. But if you really can't, maybe the new year is a time for a fresh start and making a different choice.
Well, okay, I don't mean to pick on Tiger Woods, but let's be honest here. Everybody thought it was the American dream. He's handsome, she's beautiful, they have money, you know, there's no alcohol or drugs involved. Do you classify that as the American dream? Because I sure don't.
As Linda Martin said this morning, hell to the no.
And I'm with her.
I mean, you know, and that's the thing. It's like we look at these couples and we look at the outer appearance and it seems so charmed and it seems so wonderful, but then you get underneath and everyone has problems.
Renee, do you really think she was using that golf club to get him out of the car?
No, she wanted to bash him over the head.
And I think all the women American viewers out there was right there with her going, go girl.
Right, just aim a little lower, just a little lower.
Get that kneecap.
Oh, wow. Well, Lori, thank you so much for joining us today. And again, you know, divorce, a hard decision. It can be very painful. But if a partnership, like you said, isn't working, why put all that time into it? Why invest more? And why show your kids an example of an unhappy union?
And plus, if you'd been at my Christmas party last night, you would have seen a million couples that have now gone on to husband or wife number 2 and couldn't be happier.
All right, so there's hope out there, too.
Yes, there is.
All right. Lori Clark Viviano, you can get in touch with her at her website, at her phone number, or through our website, and we'll put you in touch.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
You too.
Thanks.